see if anything else happens. Because a lot of times there's like the intro type thing. But then they play an awesome movie. I don't know. I've only ever played Otome games that are like Otome Idea Factory. So obviously this is not going to be the same, but I just want to see. And the music is so pretty. Okay. New game. Enter your name. Ooh, I'm always a self-inserter. No shame there. I feel like I want to keep the name Aurora. I don't know. For some reason, I want to keep this. Let's just keep it with. Let's keep it with that. Okay. Do we get an intro video? Ugh. I love intro videos. Oh. The birdie. Oh, these names are going to be tough for me to... Ooh, inbreeding. Humans remain unwelcome in Alwan. Oh no, I'm a slow reader, no! Okay, so 200 years, there hasn't been a female born. This is the female main character.
Wake up.
Oh, I'm awake. Might I add, this game is completely voiced in English. Ooh. This is the first Otome game on a system that's dubbed, to my knowledge.
Wake up.
Is that my father? What time is it? Ooh, she's pretty. I like her hair.
Do I have to sing the wake-up song? You're getting a bit too old for this.
That's right. Anytime he says anyone's going to say her name, they're not going to actually say her name, since you can change the name. So none of that will ever be voiced. Or if it's in the text, they just kind of like skip over it or have like an implied expression for main character. If you've never played an Otome game before, just FYI.
You, it's Mr. Sun.
Aww.
Can you come out and play?
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Papa, I'm 20 years old. You don't have to sing me awake anymore.
My father is sitting in a chair next to my bed, still in the middle of an old childhood song. He stops when he sees me sitting up and gives me a wink. Aw, so cute.
Oh, I get it. You don't want any of your classmates to hear and get jealous. Not everyone gets such a marvelous musical start to their day.
Oh my god, I love her dad. Blessing. I can't help but smile. My father communicates primarily in corny jokes. Yes, dad jokes.
It's hard enough keeping the peace with those guys. I don't need to give them anything else to argue about. What are you doing here this early, though?
father lives a few days away in our home village, Gaba. I usually only see him a few times a year. His job keeps him busy, and it's not the easiest journey for a elemental of his age. He's been in town visiting for a few days now.
What? Isn't it enough to want to see my precious daughter?
It's always enough, Papa. But that could have waited until after school.
He suddenly looks away, embarrassed. He's beginning to fidget nervously with the tip of his beard. Uh-oh.
Well, you're getting to a special time in your life. You know, there's going to be some changes.
The birds and the bees! Oh, Father, I think you're a little too late for that. She's 20.
Yeah, I know, Papa. I'm going to have to choose my element in 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, I guess it's kind of like... Never mind. Unlike male, elemental females aren't born into one element. We have the ability to command all elements until we become of age at 20. They say it's an evolutionary advantage that allows us to choose our partners more easily, but from where I'm sitting, it sounds a lot like a giant inconvenience. She's very independent, it sounds like. How'd you even begin to decide something like that?
No,
Story.
not just that. Physical changes.
He crosses his arms and looks up at the ceiling, and then sighs and resumes fidgeting with his beard.
Your 20th birthday is only 2 weeks away now, which means your body has already begun the process of maturing. This is really the sort of talk your mother should have had with you. But I suppose that can't be helped. I'm sure you remember 2 years ago, they had a talk with you and your classmates about some of the changes the boys were experiencing.
I'm sorry, I don't know if this is supposed to be slightly humorous or if I'm just a twisted human being. Oh my god, this is totally a birds and beads conversation. Changes the boys were experiencing. Oh my god, this is so funny, I love it. Oh, I just noticed in the bottom corner the flower spins. That's awesome, I love it. That usually will pop up and you can go to the next. Male elementals reach sexual maturity 2 years earlier than elemental females. We learned all about that excruciating detail 2 years ago. Oh,
yeah, I remember. That was an awkward day.
Well, it's your time now. They'll talk to you about that today, I imagine. Things are going to be different for you from now on.
He looks a bit sad. Aw, 'cause his baby's growing up.
You know you're the most precious thing in the world to me. And I trust you to take care of yourself. But men are going to be looking at you differently now. Even your classmates. Well, especially your classmates.
Yep.
A female elemental is an exceedingly rare thing. The last time this village even had a female elemental come of age was over 200 years ago. And you know the child of a male and female elemental is a pureblood. Many of our people have killed for that sort of power.
I reach out for Papa's hand and give him a reassuring squeeze.
I know, Papa. You kept me enrolled here in the academy even after I went through the change because you trusted them to keep me safe and teach me to protect myself. Trust in the decision you made and trust me.
Elementals are agendered until 10 years of age. We simply refer to this part of our life cycle as the change. So they don't know if a child is going to be male or female until 10 years down the line. Dude! That's crazy. Because you can have a child and be like, oh, maybe it'll be a girl, maybe it'll be a boy. So, does that mean that they don't name the child till then? I mean, she has a very feminine name, and I believe all the other ones have masculine names, obviously, because they're the male counterparts. But I don't know. Anyway, just thinking. Papa squeezes my hands back and gives me a misty-eyed smile.
You're all right. You're all right. I'm so proud of the woman you've become. Speaking of which, I'll be back in 2 weeks to see your coming-of-age ceremony. Have you given any thought to what element you'd like to choose yet?
I've tried, but I don't know, Papa. They all have their own advantages.
Papa sits back in his chair and calls forth a small orb of water. It floats just above his hand, glintering in the early morning sunlight. So, Papa is
Could always
water.
give the old family element a try. What are you waiting for?
Yes! I groan and cover my face with a blanket.
That's it, I quit. I'm going back to sleep.
Papa laughs and tussles my hair.
Too early in the morning to laugh that hard, eh? You know I'll be happy as long as you're happy. But water wouldn't hurt.
He bends over and kisses my forehead.
Take care of yourself, sweet girl. I'll be seeing you again before you know it.
So I'm wondering if, because all the boys are elements of some sort, so does that mean that based off the element that I pick, I end up on that boy's route? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. But this says there's 6 romanceable boys. So there's a mystery boy, which is very common.
Thanks for everything, Papa. See you soon.
Thoughts. I roll over to see if I can get another hour of sleep before class, but it's too late. I'm wide awake. I get out of bed and get dressed. Oh, that sounds violent dressing. I look at myself in the mirror for a moment. I don't look any different. I don't think I feel any different. Maybe it's like some subtle hormonal thing. Or maybe it didn't happen yet. Whatever. I can't waste time worrying about these things I don't understand. I'm sure they'll explain it in class today. Maybe it will be less awkward now that the boys are more mature. Ooh, I don't know about that. Who am I thinking? It's gonna be terrible. True story, girl. I fix my hair in the mirror and gather up my school things. Let's just get this over with. Yes, let's. Oh. Akash Academy. Oh. I really like the music in this game so far. Akash Academy. Elementals from all over the land send their it's a long time. Then all over the land send their children here every year. Only 6 students are accepted into the incoming class. Dang! Oh, it's her and the boys. That's the class. Okay. The faculty does its best to make sure each element type is represented, but it's not always possible with the pool of applicants. We were lucky enough to have one of every element in our class, plus me. I was born a water element, but after I went through the change, I lost that part of my identity.
Good morning.
Ooh, there's one. Oh, hey! Okay. Lux. We've been best friends ever since the first day of school. He's the only one that didn't treat me differently after the change. He's a light element. So usually how I always end up playing these games, I always play the boy that's like kind of like the friend zone boy, because I'm like, oh, they're so cute, they're my best friend, let's have a romance. Like every time it's like the sweet subtle boy. So I'm probably gonna do his first just because hashtag I can't change.
Morning, Lux.
I take a seat next to him. He gives me his usual sweet smile.
You look really nice today. Did you do something different with your hair?
Ah, there's Ray Chase. I do the voices. Oh, my first choice. Oh, we're going with aw, thanks, just the usual, because this one, don't I always look nice? That seems rude.
Aw, thanks. Just the usual.
Oh, I guess when that flower means I got his favor.
There's definitely something different today.
Surely you can't be so naive, Lux.
Uh-oh. I can't remember which one this is. Oh, yeah, here we go. I was actually very interested in doing his first, but I don't know. We'll see. Sirocco is a wind element, and definitely the school's playboy. Okay. Someone less charitable than me might call him a pervert. He likes to be called Rocco.
Today is an important day in a female elemental's life. The day her body starts going through some special changes.
Oh my god, he is a pervert. Oh, sweet Jesus. Lux frowns, but isn't quite sure how to respond. Rocco slings his arm over the back of his chair and gives him his most winning smile.
Darling, you're looking even more scrumptious than usual today.
Yes, this is all I want in these games.
Scrumptious? Do you even hear yourself sometimes? Who says scrumptious?
Here comes another one. I'm guessing Earth. I mean, come on, he has to be Earth. Brown and green, Earth. Rowan is Rocco's best friend. How? He had an Earth element. There we go. He's not a very serious student, but is a skilled fighter. He's a nice guy, but he's always hanging out with Rocco. So we don't spend much time together. Rocco turns his back to look at Rowan with a look of mock disdain.
I'm not going to take advice on how to talk to women from a guy that's never even touched one.
Oh, that was a burn, Rocco. Rude.
I could touch plenty of women if I wanted to. I just choose not to. I'm
saving myself. How old are we?
Right. You're saving yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I love these. I love this. Oh my god, this is a blessing. He turns back around and elbows the boy sitting to his right.
Can you believe this guy, Iggy? Saving himself? The delusion. Saving himself for the scores of women we're going to encounter in our lifetime?
Oh shit.
Don't bring me into your idiotic conversations. And I'm not going to tell you again. Stop calling me Iggy.
Ignitus. Aw, look at a little fire boy. He's a fire element. He prefers to keep to himself, but Rocco and Rowan are always teasing him. He used to get along alright, or we used to get along alright before I went through with the change. But nowadays I feel like he can't quite look me in the eye anymore. Ignitus pulls his chair away from Rocco and throws his elbow out over the desk as if to keep Rocco at bay, glaring pointedly at his nose. Oh, Rowan holds out his hand and calls forth a tiny flower. Okay. He leans over Rocco and holds it out to Ignitus.
Hey now, Rocco, that wasn't cool. Don't be upset. Please accept this as a peace offering, Natty.
Ignitus lifts his hand and burns the flower Rowan is holding without even looking up from his notes. Rowan jerks his hand back and drops the former flower's embers with a yelp. Clenching his hand, the parchment in front of him begins to smoke.
Ouch! Come on, man, I need those fingers.
Rowan, your parchment.
Rowan's dry parchment has burst into flames. A plume of smoke now rises from the desk in front of him. A thin jet of water arches gracefully across the room and puts out a small fire, raging on Rowan's desk.
Nothing more than a bunch of overgrown children. Shameful.
Caspian. He looks way older than 20, I'm just saying. Holy crap. If we had nobility, Caspian would be the elemental version of a prince. He comes from a long, distinguished line of pure blood water elements. He's not close with anyone here. I sometimes wonder if he has any friends at all in his home village.
What are you thinking, Ignatius? Using magic like that in such close quarters? Offensive magic should not be used so thoughtlessly.
Ignatius glowers at Caspian for a moment, then returns to poring over his notes. Caspian turns his intimidating gaze at Rowan and Rocco.
And you two. Antagonize Ignatius on your own time. Some of us are here to learn.
He sits down in the seat closest to the door. Yeah, I probably would too. Rowan grimaces at the wet pile of ashes where his parchment used to be. Rocco clamps him on the back and laughs.
Cheer up, Rowan. It's not like those notes were going to be of any use anyway. Maybe Iggy will let you borrow his.
Just as Ignatius turned to say something, our instructor enters the room. Elder Glenn usually teaches us elemental history. He's a kind old man, though his lectures tend to be a bit dry.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Elder Glenn.
Whoa! Good morning. That's great. Elder Glenn unrolls a large weathered piece of parchment. There's an illustration of a naked male and female element on it. Oh, blessing. That's... oh, goodness. Oh, goddess, no. Elder Glenn beams joyfully at us all. Oh, here we go.
Goodness me, it's been a few hundred years since this parchment has seen any use in our academy. We have a special lesson for you this morning.
Oh, birds and bees. I don't think I've ever seen Rocco play with a rapt attention to... oh, there we go.
As you all know, elementals come of age at 20. There's two components to maturity. The physical component and the mental component. Mental is self-explanatory, but the physical, well... so many of us never even see a female elemental within our lifetimes. So it's perfectly normal to be confused about this.
Rocco drapes his arm around Rowan and jokes with him in a stage whisper.
It's perfectly normal. Don't be embarrassed, Rowan.
Rowan shrugs Rocco's arm off of his shoulder and stares straight ahead. The tips of his ears are tinged with red. Elder Grun doesn't seem to notice and obviously continues on with his lecture. He unrolls another parchment, this one containing an explicit illustration of a male and female tangled up in each other. Yes! I've never seen anything like it, but for some reason it makes me feel embarrassed. Oh no. Oh, poor girl.
Reproduction between a male and female elemental is a rare but beautiful thing. For most male elementals, it's nothing more than a fairy tale, an unattainable ideal. Long ago, we had equal numbers of males and females, but over the centuries, the balance has dwindled.
I can feel my cheeks burning. I wonder what the boys think of this. Which one do I pick? Who do I pick? Do I pick Rowan? He's the brown and green dressed boy. He's earth element. Rocco, he's the blue boy. He's kind of a playboy, as you probably tell. Lux. Oh, best friend from childhood. He is light Caspian. He was blue, he's water. And Ignatius, fire. He's fire boy. I'm going to pick... that would make sense. things. I rest my chin on my hand and take a quick peek over at Lux next to me. He appears to be studying the illustration with almost scientific interest. His brow is frowned and he nods periodically. Oh, I cover my mouth with my hand and hide my smile. He looks like he's doing a math problem. Why is he taking this so seriously? I'm going to have to tease him about this later. Yes.
Physically, female elementals and human females are extremely similar, but the coupling of a male and female elemental is different in many ways. The most important way, however, is that the fruit of their union will result in a pure blood elemental. A pure blood elemental's command of magic is vastly stronger than that of a human elemental mix. You can understand now why some villages have gone to war over a single female elemental.
He smiles kindly at me as if he's paying me a compliment. I give him an awkward smile.
Female elementals reach sexual maturity just before the elemental age of majority, unlike male elementals who reach sexual maturity at age 18. You may recall our lecture 2 years ago.
Do I ever, sir? It was riveting.
Oh, no. Oh, oops, I accidentally stepped that. Caspian gives Rocco a look of pure disgust. Rocco doesn't seem to notice.
Ah, thank you, Sirocco. Now, you may have noticed something different about your classmate today. With the coming-of-age ceremony just around the corner, she will be ready to reproduce.
Oh my god.
As an elemental female, it is your duty to select a suitable partner and bear as many children as you can as soon as possible. You should begin screening suitors within the week.
What is happening? This is like, screen them and baby, 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 just shoot them out of your vagina. Just do it. This is unreal. I can feel the eyes of the entire class boring into me. I sink down a bit further in my seat. I know Elder Gun means well, but this kind of attention is humiliating. I never asked for any of this. And as for kids, I don't want to have children. I'm not sure if I want kids. I don't want to have... Okay, she just doesn't want kids. I don't want to have kids, but I don't even have a boyfriend. True, you don't. You don't. I don't want to have children. I'm not sure if I want kids. I don't want to have kids, but I don't... Oh, I do! Oh my god, dumb. I do want to have kids, but I don't even have a boyfriend. Let's go with that. I mean, yeah, sure, I want to have kids, but I don't even have a boyfriend right now. One thing at a time. True. The rest of the day drags on. Class finally ends, and I gather my things to leave at once. Rocco leans casually against my desk. Shocker.
Where are you off to in such a hurry? Eager to begin screening suitors already? Let me be the first to apply.
Oh my god. Okay. Mess with and ignored him. Shut him down hard. Yes. Oh, I got a trophy for that. That's amazing. My hand flies out before I can even think about what I'm doing and striking him squarely across the face. Rocco slowly brings his palm to his cheek, stunned.
Do you have any idea how humiliating it is to be singled out like that? In front of everyone? Objectified by an entire village? Held up as nothing more than a means to create children? Oh, but this is so funny to you. I'm just another potential conquest for the great Sirocco.
Oh. He looks a little stunned. I grab my things and leave him there, rooted to the spot. Ignatius hurries after me into the hallway.
I've been wanting to do that for ages. Nice one.
He's grinning like a little boy. I haven't seen him look this pleased in a long time.
I wish I could say it made me feel better, but I'm not so sure. At least it made someone happy.
Suddenly, as if he realized what he's doing, Ignatius' demeanor changes. A blush sprouts over his face. Aww. I don't know if he's blushing or not. He's already red. And he begins to back away.
I forgot my notes. Can't forget those. They're important. Well, see you later. Bye.
He runs back into the classroom at an impressive speed. Finally alone after a humiliating afternoon, I should go to my room to decompress. A bath might be nice after all this. As I walk back to the student quarters, I notice more eyes on me than usual. Elemental men are staring at me everywhere I go. It's a bit uncomfortable. As I start to pick up a pace a little, someone steps into my path.
You're looking good today. Real good.
Oh my god. Imagine literally being in a village full of perverts. This is what this girl's going through. She's literally living in a village full of perverts now that she's 21 is, and I guess, of sexual. Oh my god. I clench my bag a bit closer and look right around him.
Hey, that's okay. You look just as good from behind, too.
Oh.
Come see me sometime soon. You know where I'll be.
Oh, jeez. He laughs a bit too loudly. This is like sexual harassment. Ugh, not cool. He laughs a bit too loudly. I can feel his eyes on me long after he's gone. It makes me shudder. Girl, same. Student dormitory. As I gather my things to go to the bathhouse, I can't shake that creepy encounter from earlier. Elder Glenn's lecture echoes in my ear. You can understand now why some villages have gone to war over a single female elemental. It may not be a good idea for me to walk to the bathhouse alone with that guy around. I should bring someone with me just in case. Yeah, not Rocco. He's going to be doing the same thing all the way there. Oh, Lux's room's conveniently across the hall from mine. Shocker. We used to slide letters under each other's doors, but we haven't done that in some time now. Oh, it's so cute. I knock on Lux's door and with a practice ease. Never have to worry about what I'll get with Lux. He's always so kind and reliable. Aww. The door swings open, reveals Lux's smiling face. He beams down at me.
What a nice surprise. What can I do for you?
No.
Hey, Lux. Would you mind walking somewhere with me? I could really use some company today.
Of course, but is everything all right?
I'm okay, but things got kind of weird earlier. I'll explain on the way.
No problem. Let's head out then.
Oh, some reliable boy.
It was bad enough having Elder Glenn go on about all that embarrassing stuff, but when I left the classroom today, I could feel everyone else staring at me too. And I can deal with that, whatever. But there was this really creepy guy who just got in my way. And he didn't even touch me, but it was like he was looking right through me. And the things he said, and the gross little laugh. You know, I can deal with one guy, but I'm starting to think that maybe this is going to be what it's like from now on. An entire village of guys looking at me and just counting their future children.
Lux shakes his head sadly.
I wish I could tell you that it isn't true, but it is going to happen. You've already started to experience it. I promise you one thing, though. No one's going to speak to you like that as long as I'm around.
Oh, yes, get it.
Ooh, is that a threat, Lux?
Yes?
Okay.
Come on, Lux. Talk like that doesn't suit you.
Aw.
Hey now, it's not all talk. Do you think these muscles are just for show?
Oh, I'm gonna flirt.
Yes, but goodness, what a show.
Huh?
Yes.
I'm just saying. But while I appreciate the thought, I wouldn't want you fighting anyone for me. I can take care of myself, and I know you can't stand hurting people anyway.
Well, if you say so.
Oh, it's so sweet encounter. It's so cute. We walk for a few moments along the path in silence.
Oh, yes, have you heard? They've captured a human boy.
What?
Humans and elementals have been at odds for generations. We've had a peace agreement with the nearby village for the last few hundred years, but things have been really tense between us lately.
Elder Soul is taking us to see him during class tomorrow.
Like he's a
Wow.
pet.
That's crazy. I guess I'll finally get to see a human with my own eyes.
It'll be my first time, too. I imagine it should be for most of us. Unless Rocco's not the only one who's been sneaking out.
Tease him or be vulnerable? It's a hard choice.
Well, I'm glad the rest of us will all be in the same boat tomorrow. I'm a little nervous.
Don't worry, it should be perfectly safe. Elder Soul will be there, and you've got me and the rest of our classmates. You can always stick close to me if you get scared.
Oh, Lux, you're the best.
It's really nothing. Ah, here we are. You go ahead. I'll wait outside to make sure no one gives you any trouble. Take your time.
Aw, so reliable. Lux and I walked back to the dormitory without any creepy incidents. Maybe it was just that guy, or maybe seeing me with Lux makes them feel like they don't have a chance. Either way, I'm going to have to be more aware of my surroundings from now on. The men in the village are looking at me differently now, and it seems they don't all have good intentions. Regardless, they never would. 30 days until coming of age ceremony. I awaken to the sound of a lot of hustle and bustle. Seems like there's much more activity in the village than usual. There's a strange amount of chatter, and the doors and windows opening and closing for such an early hour. I rub the sleep out of my eyes and begin the morning routine. As soon as I step outside, I'm greeted with flurry of activity. Elementals wheeling carts, carrying massive bundles of fabric, leading livestock through the village, just to name a few. As I approach the village square, I can hear a banker and his apprentice gossiping as they work.
Can you believe it, sir? We're finally going to have a female at the coming-of-age ceremony this year. How exciting!
Take it easy on that dough, son. We haven't had an opportunity like this for 200 years. And I'll be damned if we lose out to Briarwood and his inferior sweet rolls because you've overworked the dough.
Oh, that was cute. As soon as they catch sight of me, their chatter ceases. Oh! Magnus motions towards me with his rolling pin and swats his helpless apprentice in the back of the head. The apprentice rushes over to me with a bundle of wrapped in cloth. Whatever it is, it smells incredible.
Excuse me, miss? Ma'am? We would be honored if you would accept these sweet rolls.
What's the occasion?
We're just so excited about the coming-of-age ceremony that we got started early, and now we've made too many. Please, miss, enjoy them.
I shrug and accept the bundle with a gracious smile. Don't mind if I do.
Thank you so much. These smell lovely.
The apprentice bows profusely as he backs away towards the
bakery.
No,
thank you, miss. You honor us.
He continues bowing until he backs into his boss, who gives me a cheery wave with his rolling pin before steering his apprentice back into the kitchen. I stopped by their bakery countless times on my way home from class. All of this formality is a little strange. I won't say no to free sweets, though. Before I can even unwrap the bundle to try a sweet roll, a few children approach me with a bundle of flour. They seem a bit nervous, but evidently one steps forward and offers me a flower crown.
Miss, please do our family the owner of a captain.
The children appears to be reading from a messy scrawl on his wrist. Aw. I bend down and indicate my appreciation of their gift with a bow. They seem relieved that they don't have to deliver the rest of their speech and carefully place the crown on my head.
What a fine crown. I feel like a goddess.
The children drops into a formal bow but smiles cheerfully before turning and running back to the other children. Oh, so cute. Okay, back in class. I managed to make my way to class after a few more interruptions. I hurry into my usual seat and unwrap a bundle of sweet rolls. The rolls release an intoxicating bouquet of sweet, doughy goodness. I pop one in my mouth. It tastes even better than it smells. I have to remember to get some more later. The boys have all arrived already, and the smell of my syrup rolls wafting through the classroom stops their conversation. Rocco reaches, of course he's the first one to react, reaches over to my desk and snatches a roll. Rude, and gives me a hammy wink and takes a bite.
How kind of you to share with the class, darling.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Those smell really wonderful. Could I try one?
Oh, so cute. Oh, put one in his mouth, slide one across the table to him, don't share. I'm feeding him. I select an especially plump roll and shove it into Lux's mouth. His shout of surprise is coolly muffled by bread.
Isn't it amazing? It's like a little bite of heaven.
Oh my god. Lux smiles at me. I can see the hint of a blush in his pale cheeks.
Oh, amazing. Absolutely.
Caspian glares at us from a far side of the room.
Do you not see what all these gifts are? They're trying to buy you. Everyone wants to be a part of your coming-of-age ceremony. Are you truly so naive as to think all the men of our village are showering you with gifts for no good reason?
Mm-hmm. I know, and I don't care. I mean, it's not going to stop even if she tells them no, so I mean, you might as well just deal with it, you know? It's been 200 years since the girl's been walking around. They're a little shell-shocked. I cram a cereal into my mouth and make a rude gesture with my eye. With my free hand. She flipped him off.
I'm not an idiot, Caspian. Doesn't mean I can't enjoy it.
Truth. Ignatius laughs. When he sees me looking at him, he quickly looks away. Aww. He puts himself back in his notes. So cute. Just then, Elder Soul enters the classroom. He doesn't even bother coming to the front of the class. He simply beckons us from the door.
I've got a special class session for you today. One of the most important lessons you'll ever learn. We'll be doing something a little more practical. Gather your things and meet me outside.
He hurries off.
I thought our most important lesson was yesterday.
Yeah, he would say that.
There's an entire world that exists out there beyond your whim-wham, you know.
Whim-wham? Who said that?
Whim-wham? If you're calling it that, it means you're not mature enough to be talking about it.
Can you idiots talk about Sirocco's penis somewhere else? You're blocking the doorway.
How terribly rude of us. Not to worry, Iggy. We can continue talking about my penis on the way to wherever it is we're going.
Oh my god, blessing. Oh, this is funny. Ignatius draws his fist back to punch Rocco, but finds his wrist firmly gripped by Lux.
Don't do this now, Ignatius. It's not worth getting in trouble. Save it for training in the afternoon.
Ignatius draws his arm and pushes past Roko, who seems entirely unconcerned. With the fight broke up, we all file out of the classroom and begin following Elder Soul. As we follow Elder Soul, I can see the boys ahead of me. I wonder what they think about all of this. We're going for Lux, so we're gonna walk with Lux. Lux and I are the last in line. We can see the boys on the path ahead of us as we walk.
I know we're going to observe a human, but what are we really supposed to be looking for?
I'm not sure. I guess part of knowing your enemy is just being familiar with their actual presence, right?
Yeah, but it's not like humans have any crazy magical auras or anything. Do they?
They're inherently non-magical. Some of them make pacts with certain deities in order to receive some limited magical powers, but they're not like us, where their very essence is imbued with magic. They're about as mundane as you can get.
So maybe now, once we see this guy, we won't be caught off guard by the mystery of their lack of mystery.
Exactly.
So you're not nervous at all, huh?
Not particularly. After all, he'll be well restrained, and we vastly outnumber him. Unless he's some kind of escape artist and a master fighter, we should be just fine.
I wish I could be as laid back as you about things like this.
Why can't you?
I can't help it. Whenever I am going into a new situation, I feel a little nervous. What gives you your confidence?
You know I love history. I just remind myself that all these things have happened before and will happen again. And if I can't learn from someone else's experiences, then I trust my own education and training to get me through it.
You make it sound so easy. There must be something that scares you or makes you uncomfortable.
Oh, sure. But this human boy doesn't scare me.
I'm gonna go in with an open mind. But you stay close to me just in case he makes any sudden moves.
I'll be right beside you.
Yeah, so cute. Village outskirts. We finally reach a small building in the outskirts of our village.
Gather around and listen carefully. This human is an adolescent, like yourselves. He is the son of the village chief. He is immensely valuable as a prisoner, and unlike humans, we do not mistreat our prisoners. Keep your hands to yourself and keep your distance.
How did he come to be in our custody, Elder?
Good question.
We found a group of adolescent human males skulking around the edge of the village, in violation of our inter-village agreement. You may recall that we've had a pact of non-violence with the humans for the last few centuries. Elemental males were permitted to visit the village in secret, and have children with any woman they chose, with the exception of human nobles, so long as the women consented. The agreement limited the number of human elemental relationships per year. It wasn't ideal, but we got what we needed, and the humans were able to have some measure of peace. Recently, the humans seem to have forgotten our agreement. Although our agreement is due to expire just after the coming-of-age ceremony,
Convenient.
the humans have not even waited until then to begin their incursions. We took this boy as he had some worth as a prisoner, but his companions were of no use to us. There has been some tension between our village and the human village of late, but this is too far. We recognize that they are still boys, however, so we will give them an opportunity to make things right. Still, this is a good lesson for all of you. None of you are old enough to have left the village yet. So this boy represents an excellent chance to observe a human firsthand. Follow me.
Is he the 6 mystery route? That'd be weird. As we enter the building, I see a young human male sitting in the middle of the room, his hands bound together, and he sits with his head bowed, seemingly lost in thought. He looks up straight at the sight of us. He's totally going to be the 6th route. He has to be. It makes sense. He's strangely attractive. Oh yeah, he's the 6th route. He has a boyish face, but his body is all man. He stares unbashfully at me in the contours of his handsome features lit prettily by the single lumen spell. The sight of a female elemental must be new to him. I thought a human boy would be a bit more uglier. I can feel my face glowing hot under his shameless gaze. Do nothing.
Have a good look. If all goes well, he will be returned to his people in a few days' time.
Caspian's the first to leave. He strides out of the room, unimpressed as always. Rocco follows him, looking uncharacteristically annoyed. Rowan gives the boy another glance, as if mentally sizing him up, then exits. Unsurprisingly, Ignatius stalks out of the room without another look at the human, while Lux regards the prisoner with his usual quiet thoughtfulness for a few moments before leaving. Elder Soul waits patiently by the door, the human and I essentially alone, but I can't really say or do much with Elder Soul here. Maybe I'll come back later. Why would you come back?
Now that we've had a look at the face of our enemy, we must ensure you are prepared to defend against them. We will spend the rest of the lesson sparring. Pair up.
I look around the room. Usually the boys all have paired up by now, but today they all seem to be waiting for my decision. This is weird. Ba-ba-da-ba-bum. Lux smiles pleasantly at me as I walk up to him.
I've been practicing some new holds in anticipation of our next face-off. I hope you're ready.
Oh.
You better believe I am!
I haven't practiced at all since our last fight, and his size already gives me a huge advantage over me. I might have to try a different approach. Play dirty, let him win, give him a fair fight. He would like a fair fight. Lux and I bow to each other. If I let him get this close, I'll be over in seconds. I'll just have to keep away from him.
Go on then, give me everything you've got.
I won't hold back.
Lux is doubled over, gasping for breath.
I can't keep up. I need a break.
I stop running and sit down to catch my breath.
Thank goodness. I couldn't keep up that pace anymore.
I guess, both of us need to work on our stamina. Whew.
Agreed.
It's been a long day. I'll probably turn in early tonight. It's going to take me forever to fall asleep with all that's been happening.
Huh?
There's a stack of papers beside my table. These are... Oh, those are suitors! I sit on the edge of my bed and spread the papers out in front of me. I gape. I grab the closest one to me and read. Whoa. Coming of age ceremony got you in a pastry panic. It's an ad for the... Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. I guess it's an advertisement. I'll open another one. Clothe yourself in nothing but the finest remnants in all the land. Sweet William, the couture, there we go, will design a coming-of-age ceremony gown so fine it'll make your peers simply ill with envy. I have to have a sneaking feeling the rest of these faces are advertisements. That one did have a really pretty dress on it, though. Oh, jeez. Shine as brightly as you deserve, now and for the rest of your life. This one has a marriage band and necklace set.
Now that you've been through the change, you'll be a fully grown woman before we know it. And as a woman, there are many things you'll have to deal with that your classmates won't.
What do you mean, Papa?
Aw, little Aura.
Well, you know it's not permitted for elementals to intermarry with humans, so most elementals will never even have the chance to marry.
Why can't they just marry a boy, Papa?
Right?
Well, they certainly can, dear one, but not every boy likes boys. Not every girl likes boys either, but that's beside the point. One day you will come of age, and you'll be given a choice that most of your classmates won't. You may want to marry an elemental man. It's early yet, but you're never too young to think about your future and what you want out of life. Marriage is a choice not many of us have anymore. Your mother and I were married for many years before we had you. She was an incredible woman, but that was our decision. Your mother always said all she ever wanted was for you to make your own way, and I've always tried to respect that. If you wish to marry someday, I'll throw the biggest party the land has ever seen. But marriage is not the only path to a happy relationship and a fulfilling life.
I don't know right now, Papa. Can I think about this later?
He ruffles my hair.
Of course, sweet girl. You're too young for all this kind of talk. Your mother would be ashamed of me for boring you to tears like this.
Aw, Papa, you've always let me make my own choices. I haven't really given marriage much thought since that day, though. I want to get married someday. I'm not sure either way. Let's go in the middle. I heave a dramatic sigh and toss the papers back into the stack with the rest. I don't really know how I feel about marriage yet. Between the coming of age ceremony, the tensions with the human village, the entire village expecting things out of me, I have far too much on my mind to think about this. I have my entire life to figure out whether or not I want to get married someday. As I lay down to sleep, I find myself thinking less about marriage and more about the boys in my class. I find myself lingering on thoughts of Lux. As I drift off to sleep, he's the last thing on my mind. I don't know where I am, but it's dark. I summon a spell orb of light to illuminate my path, but it's just before it appears in my hand. I'm blinded by a dazzling light. When my eyes finally adjust, I see a figure standing before me. An impossibly tall and muscular figure. Why is he in her bedroom? Beams of light dance over his bare chest and arms. It's a magnificent sight.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you. It was lonely out here in the dark.
He takes a few steps closer.
It was lonely for me too. I'm glad you found me.
Lux takes my hand in his.
I'll never let you feel lonely. Never again.
Oh, Lux.
Oh. He tilts my chin up and bends down to kiss me. His nose brushes against mine, and his hair tickles my face. I close my eyes. Girl's having some dreams, some dirty dreams. awaken with a start. No light, no lux. Oh goodness, why? Why do I always wake up just as my dreams are getting good? That was an interesting dream. I've always thought Lux was cute, but I've never really looked at him as anything other than my best friend. Do I flirt with him? I do flirt with him, but it's mostly just fun. He gets so embarrassed. Well, at any rate, guess I better get up and get going. I barely get a few steps in the village proper before a group of villagers carrying bolts of fabric come running up to me all at once.
Miss, please, if you'll just have a look at these fabric swatches.
Don't bother with that fool's swatches. See here, miss, we have a dress already made for you. Please, miss.
Those rags aren't fit to grace your body, miss. We've got a gown waiting for you in our shop.
It seems as if all the village tailors have decided to try their luck at once this morning. I bow slightly and place my hands on my chest, a gesture of thanks.
Sirs, you honor me with your gifts. Unfortunately, I simply don't have the time to consider them right now, as I must be on my way to school. But thank you for thinking of me. I will be sure to remember you when the time comes to make my decision.
Villagers cease elbowing each other and bow in return before quietly disappearing. Perhaps my civility has reminded them of their manners. That's one group taken care of. I can see another group of villagers approaching, and this time they seem to be carrying sweets and tiny cake samples.
Do all our tradesmen travel in herds in this village?
The baker's arguments reach me long before they do.
So help me, Magnus, if you touch my cakes one more time! What are you even doing here, Adriatico? You're a carpenter!
I may be a carpenter, but my hobby cakes taste 1,000 times better than those dry, crumbling little insults you're carrying in your hand!
As if you can even talk, Gillivar! You might as well be a carpenter, too! Your cakes are like wood!
I love nothing more than to sit and stuff myself with sweets. But at this rate, there's no way I'll make it to class on time. Just as a small crowd of villagers arrive, I look across the square and spot Lux on his way to class. I give him a desperate wave. He smiles and waves, and frowns as he notices my apparent distress. He begins to make his way over to me. Just as the villagers began to thrust their baked goods towards me, I hold my hand out to stop
Sirs,
them.
you honor me with your gifts, but I see my classmate across the square, and I promised him we would walk together. I really must be going now. Please feel free to deliver any samples to my quarters. Thanks!
The villagers pause for a moment, surprised by my outburst. Just in the nick of time, Lux strolls up, parting the crowd easily as with his imposing presence. He gives the group a respectful bow and grabs my hand.
There you are, classmate. It's our turn to present first today. We'd better go prepare. Please excuse us, brothers.
Lux takes my hand and leads me away from the villagers. We walk for a while, but he continues to hold my hand.
That was quite a crowd. Has this happened to you before?
Earlier today and yesterday, but those times there wasn't a cute boy to hold my hand and take me away from them.
Ah, cheeky.
A cute boy? Oh, you mean...
He looks down at his hands, then gently lets go of mine.
Oh, I hope you won't think I was being untoward. I just wanted to get you away from those people. They seemed a bit aggressive.
I don't think you could be untoward if you tried. You're always so considerate.
I could be untoward if I wanted to.
That wasn't a challenge, Lux.
Right. At any rate, I would imagine this sort of thing is going to start happening more often to you. There's a lot of honor and glory to be obtained from being a part of your coming-of-age ceremony.
How lucky are you being my best friend, huh? You've got a front row seat to all the honor and glory going on here?
I'm the luckiest guy in the village.
You don't count. Lux smiles sweetly at me.
Lux, you are a darling man, but whenever I make a joke like that and you answer it seriously, it makes me sound like the biggest jerk.
Oh, sorry. let me see, Wow, yes. What a spectacular honor. I am the luckiest man in the village.
Lux, you just said the same thing, but you yelled some of it this time.
That was so you would know it was sarcasm.
We'll keep working on it.
Lux seems to be looking past me. I turn around and follow his gaze to see some of the village warriors headed in the other direction. They're heavily armed, which is unusual to see in the middle of the village.
So many weapons. They must be headed to where that human boy is being held.
I wonder what they're going to do to him. I hope they don't hurt him.
Don't worry about him. Our men would never harm a prisoner in our care. We're not humans, after all.
Oh. Walk it back. Double down.
Yeah, you're right, Lux. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Walk the rest of the way to class in a thoughtful silence. As we make our way to training yard for today's magic lesson, Elder Soul is already waiting for us. He watches with barely concealed impatience as we filter in one by one.
Today will be a bit different. You're nearing your coming-of-age ceremony, which means we only have a week left together. Normally, I would assign you partners. But your classmate here has an extra choice the rest of you don't.
Five heads swivel around to look at me in a perfect unison. Elder Soul intimidating gaze.
You've studied the elements for the last 14 years of your life, but you're going to have to make a commitment. You'll be choosing your own partner today. You won't have many more chances to explore magic in a neutral environment like this, so make the most of your time.
I break away from the line and turn to look at my classmates. All of them look at me expectantly, except for Lex, who gives me his usual serene smile. Nothing ever seems to bother him.
Don't drag it out, darling. Just break their hearts and get it over with.
Oh, Jesus.
Have you ever even seen her using wind magic outside of class? You left confidence behind long ago, buddy. We're getting into delusional territory here.
Like Earth isn't just as useless for defense.
You do realize Earth magic isn't all flowers and grass, right?
Flowers and grass.
It's not a popularity contest, guys. She needs to think about her future.
All of you, be quiet.
After some consideration, I take a deep breath and point my finger dramatically at... Lux.
Haven't you studied enough with him by now? You should really expand your horizons.
Not with you, she shouldn't. This decision is way too important to put it in your hands.
Enough! The poor girl doesn't need any more pressure from the lot of you.
He places a large hand on my shoulder and gives me an awkward part. I think he means to reassure me. It's rather sweet.
The real choice is in less than 2 weeks. Try to keep an open mind as long as you can.
Thank you, Elder. I will.
Lux and I find some space in the corner.
Honestly, you know I'd be more than happy to go over the basics of light magic. But are you sure you want to review this again with me? You wouldn't rather learn something else?
I just wanted to watch you flex. Your pecs do this really great thing when you're casting.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Lux slowly raises his arms and folds them over his chest in embarrassment.
Come on, Lux. I'm just teasing you. It's not like you can even see anything through that fabric. Also kidding.
So let's begin with our review of the uses of light.
I don't think you like that. Can I go back? Oh.
There's offensive, regenerative, and illuminative light magic.
Very good. Why don't you tell me a bit about each?
Well, illuminative is the easy one. Light magic can be used to call forth orbs of light or imbue objects with a glow. Probably the most important use for our everyday life.
Correct.
Offensive is a bit trickier. Light can be focused into a source of heat. You can burn objects with it, or your enemies. It's not used very often, but there are light elementals who have made it their focus and can do some really incredible things.
Right. I am not one of those elementals, so I won't be able to help you too much there.
Finally, there's regenerative light magic, my favorite.
Mine too.
Light magic can be used to speed up the body's natural healing processes. It cannot heal fatal wounds, and it cannot revive the dead.
Well, not anymore anyway. Eons ago, before we lost some of our power due to intermixing with humans, it was possible, but not in our current state.
Light elementals are also blessed with incredible constitutions because of the light magic in their blood.
That's also correct. You'll never see a frail, wispy light elemental. We only come in one size and one of two body types.
Yours, and...
There must be mass. Whether it takes the form of muscle or fat is up to the individual. Good review. Why don't we try some healing magic?
Sure, but neither of us are injured.
Lux walks across the room and returns with a small dagger. The blade glints in the morning sun.
What are you doing with that?
He's gonna cut himself, girl.
Not to worry. Just a little nick here.
Oh, that sounded a little bit more than a nick. Lux holds his arm out and draws the blade across it, leaving a bloody gash in its wake.
Ah, Lux! What are you doing?
Don't worry about me. I barely felt that. But now I need your help to heal it.
Okay.
I hold my hand just above the gash and close my eyes, focusing on the image of his arm as it was before, whole, undamaged. I open my eyes to examine my handiwork. Lux's the first little CG. It's so cute. Oh, look at them. Lux's arm is no longer bleeding, but it has a long, ugly scar over it. Lux takes my hand in his and presses it down over the scab. A soft, glowing light shines through our fingers. After a moment, he takes his hand away. When I remove mine, his arm was just as before. No scab, no scar.
That was a good start. With a little practice, you'll be healing deeper cuts in no time.
Oh, Lux, you're too nice to me. I almost gave you a hideous scar on your arm. I'm never going to be able to do this.
He takes my hand in his and presses it against his arm, where the cut was.
No scars here. You just need a bit more practice. I'm happy to help you whenever you like.
Thank you, Lux. I'd like that.
Wonderful. I think you'll be pleased with how quickly you can progress with even just a bit of practice.
Lux gives me a radiant smile, and it makes me feel like I want to melt into a puddle. I don't know what's going on lately, but we hang out all the time. But suddenly the idea of spending time together alone with him makes me nervous and excited. I just want to keep smiling at me. I just want him to keep smiling at me like that forever.
But Lux, are you just going to keep cutting yourself?
Unfortunately, there's not really any better ways to practice. Akash hasn't seen a war in quite some time. Do you have an alternative?
No, but it's kind of creepy watching you cut yourself, and I don't like the idea of you hurting yourself for me.
Would it help if I said something mean to you beforehand?
Like what?
You're so beautiful, everyone you meet falls in love with you.
That's not...
Right, well, you're so kind. Being your friend is the greatest honor of my life.
I can't even muster a response.
No? Oh, okay. Your hair is so shiny, it's incredibly distracting to look at.
I can only squint at him in disbelief.
You're so dumb. No, I'm sorry, I can't do it. You'll just have to use your imagination.
You're hopeless, Lux.
That was cute. It's been a long day. The villagers clamoring over my attention only got worse on my way back. I might need to start taking another route home. Despite everything I've been through the last few days, as I lay down to sleep, I find my thoughts constantly returning to that human boy. I'll never forget the way he looked at me. He was a lot cuter than I had imagined a human would be. It feels a bit strange to think that, but I can't help it. I yawn and snuggle up against my pillow. I wonder what he thinks about all day tied up in that room. Is he scared? Angry? Does he hate all of us? I wish I could talk to him just for a little bit. I'm so curious. Sorry if I sound distant. I don't feel like hunched forward talking into the mic, so I'm comfortably sitting in my chair. And it may sound like I'm a little bit farther away, so sorry. But I really ought to turn in early and get some sleep. On the other hand, this might be a perfect opportunity to go see him. Most of the village should be winding down for the night. The guards shouldn't be too on edge yet, since they've only just started their shift. We're gonna get some rest. I turn over and snuggle deeper into my blankets. Sorry, Huan, but these blankets are far too comfy right now. Maybe another night. "11 days until coming of age ceremony." I sit at my mirror and brush my hair, thinking over the previous day's events. Yesterday morning was ridiculous, and it seems like it's only getting worse. I might be better off taking a roundabout way to class today. It's already a bit late now, but if I cut through the village and all the vendors and villagers try to sell me on their wares like yesterday, I'm definitely guaranteed to be late. I'm going to take the long way. I just don't have any other choice. I have to take the long way around and hurry through. Hope this isn't like bad end. I hustle along the path to the schoolhouse, keeping an eye out for any errant merchant. So far, so good. It's all a bit too lonely out here. I'm so used to my usual morning interactions with the villagers. The quiet is almost overwhelming. A bit further down the path, I can just make out the silhouette of Lux and Ignatius. I jog to catch up.
The weather's been really lovely lately, hasn't it?
Maybe for you. It sucks as much as it always does.
I know your village is much warmer, but surely you can appreciate the difference between the weather now and the weather we have in the winter, right? Oh, maybe that was a silly question.
Yep.
Wait for me, guys!
Oh, good morning. I don't usually see you coming this way.
I know, I don't usually wake up early enough to take this route. But I kind of had to. Those merchants were such a pain yesterday morning. I don't want to be late.
You mean those merchants?
He points somewhere behind me. Turn around.
Oh, goddess, why?
Distance, I can see a mass of people with folds of fabric, towering capes, glittering jewels. The second they're already almost upon us.
How do they even find me? What am I supposed to do now?
Quickly, between those two buildings.
Lux grabs my hand and leaps forward, pulling me along behind him towards a gap between two nearby buildings. Oh my god, her hair is so pretty. In his haste to get me out of sight, Lux trips and goes sprawling onto the ground, taking me with him. I land right on top of him, bringing his face to my face. The space is so tight that we really only have room for one person, and Lux is the size of two.
I'm sorry. Are you all right?
I'm fine. Shh. I think they're coming.
Put my finger on Lux's lips, silencing him immediately, because Lux feels strangely tempting. I imagine kissing him for a moment, but the sound of angry voices bring me back to reality. Do it! The crowd must be nearby. It's impossible to distinguish any one voice. It's just a mess of discordant yelling. Snatches of Ignatius' angry voice making through the din. Lux and I hold our breath. Whatever he told them must have done the trick. The sound of the crowd eventually dies and disappears entirely.
They're gone. You can come out. You better be grateful. I'm going to class now.
Aww, he's angry.
Thanks, Ignatius. We'll catch up just as soon as we figure out how to get out of here.
I look down at Lux, whose face is a brilliant scarlet. Aww.
Sorry, I think you're going to have to get up first.
Ooh, yes.
Do I have to? I'm so comfortable where I am.
We'll be late for class if you don't.
Oh no, there's no way we'll make it on time now. I've got to hurry. Just hold still so I can extricate myself here.
So I carefully disentangle myself from Lux and get to my
Do you need a hand?
Oh, no, thank you. I'll just get myself out of here.
Inch by painful inch, Lux awkward shuffles his way out and scrambles to his feet.
There's no more time to wait around. We've got to make a run for it.
Lux and I make a mad dash down the path towards the schoolhouse.
The Treaty of Gwenhopen was signed in which year? Ignatius.
Last year?
Elder Orozco mercifully seems to have his head buried in a scroll. Lux and I slide in through the doorway as quickly as possible. Caspin glares at me from the corner of the room with a look that seems to say, "You're better than this."
Not quite. Rowan?
1294?
Not even close. Perhaps our two latecomers can help you out.
I freeze midway through, taking my seat. He wasn't even looking. I give Lux a desperate look. He doesn't even blink.
EL 1397.
Excellent. The signatories of that treaty?
Elder Borosco is still occupied with his scroll, so I look over at Lux. Lux now something to me, but I can't make it
It was
out.
between
Lux point at Roscoe and then at Rowan.
wind elementals and earth elementals.
Elder Roscoe rolls up the scroll with a look of supreme.
Very good, young miss. But someday, Lux won't be around to feed you answers. Why are you so late this morning?
There are so many merchants and vendors in the village every morning, accosting me and asking me to sample their wares or come by their shop. It's starting to become overwhelming.
So class must start 15 minutes late because you do not know how to manage your time?
Rude.
We apologize for our tardiness, Elder, but truly it wasn't her fault. There were so many of them, and she even...
I did not ask for your input, Lux. Your classmate needs to learn that these occurrences are part and parcel of being a female in a village of males. You will be treated differently than your peers from here on out. I suggest you get used to it. Now then, If there are no more interruptions, we shall resume our lesson.
I look over at Lux. He gives me a sympathetic smile and shrugs his shoulder. At least Sequin is on my side.
Appropriately enough, our lesson today is on notable elemental females. You may have heard stories of Lucerna of Munawar.
I've heard of Lucerna before. She's more of a legend than a historical figure. She casts off expectations of elemental society and traveled the land, rightfully wrongs whatever she encountered them. She was so cool, but he probably won't be covering the fun stuff with Elder Borosco.
But most of those stories are nothing more than myths. Lucerna did, however, play a crucial role in the Battle of Cienfuegos. Her sacrifice rallied elemental troops and allowed us to drive the enemy out of our ancestral lands.
Why is this yellow? Curious. Sounds boring. He talks for a while in detail about Cienfuegos, but I find myself getting bored. My thoughts drift to Lucerna. All this craziness lately, the thought of leaving my village behind and being a lone warrior of justice is really appealing, but it seems like it would be a bit lonely. I would miss someone in particular. Lux. I glance over at him. He's completely absorbed in the lecture. He nods every now and then and scribbles a quick note on his scroll. Lux has always loved history. I think he's the only one who actually enjoys this class. His handsome face really transforms when he is concentrating like this. I don't know why. I've always thought he's so cute when he's all excited about some old historical document. It's nice to see people passionate about something. Well, Lux is just nice to see in general, isn't he? So hot. Elder Borosco's voice is so monotonous. Ooh. I close my eyes just for a moment. Lux leans over and whispers something in my ear. His breath tickles my neck and makes me giggle.
Lux, you want to share your funny joke with the rest of the class?
Not really. That was for her ears only.
Oh, talk back.
The mouth on you. I should throw you out of class right now.
I'd love to see you try.
Lux bends down to kiss my neck. Oh, it sends a tingle through my entire body. Ah!
The insolence! The disrespect! Get out of my classroom at once!
Why this? Oh.
Fine by me. Let's get out of here, babe.
What? Lux stands up, knocking his chair over. He reaches his hand out to me, but I can't get up for some reason. Elder Borosco is yelling so hard. There's a flecks of spit coming out of his mouth. It's making my face wet. My eyes fly open. I awaken with a start. Oh, okay, she's daydreaming. I really was drooling. Now, how embarrassing. Miraculously, Elder World doesn't seem to have noticed. Once he gets going, he really gets into his lectures. I scrawl some notes to keep myself awake. Oh, that was amazing. Oh, jeez. Lex and I usually walk home together from class, but with everything that's been going on, I've been a bit scatterbrained. Brained? Scatterbrained. Whoa. English. Come to me. Scatterbrained in a rush to get back to my quarters. I'm glad he caught up with me. I could use some quality time with my best friend right now.
That was insane this morning, wasn't it?
Everybody's been acting so weird lately. It started with some free sweet rolls a few days ago, And now, since then, there's more and more people waving food and fabrics and jewelry and goddess knows whatever else in my face, going on about their fine wares and screaming at their competitors. I think people are actually coming from other villages for this.
I suppose being able to say your work was featured in one of the biggest coming-of-age ceremonies in 200 years would be quite an honor. But their passion is a bit terrifying, isn't it?
No kidding. I'm just going to have to hurry and get my party planning done. Hopefully, once I've committed to specific vendors, they'll all get the idea and give it up.
Maybe they'll start assassinating each other.
I can't tell if he's joking, even when he says completely absurd things. Even when he says completely absurd things, he does it with such a straight face.
You can't be serious.
If you paid attention in class today, you might have remembered the Great Merchants' War of 1017.
Merchants' War?
It began with a series of assassinations over a party planning dispute.
I gap at him.
I'm sorry, that isn't fair. I was only joking. But you really should try not to sleep through class.
You really had me going. You shouldn't use that innocent face for evil.
Sorry again for my clumsiness earlier. I was in such a rush to get you out of sight, I didn't even notice how tight the gap was.
You don't have to lie to me, Lux. I know you just wanted to get close to me.
No, I would never.
Come on, Lux. How am I ever going to stop teasing you when your reactions are that adorable?
I'm a grown man, you know.
And?
Never mind.
Come on, don't be like that. You can talk to me.
Well, it's just that some guys don't like being called adorable, you know?
Are you one of those guys?
Yes.
Well, all you had to do was say so, Lux. Come on, you can be honest with me. That's how best friends are supposed to be with each other.
You're right. I'll try to be more forthcoming with you in the future about my feelings.
Good. I appreciate your honesty, Lux. I'm glad I can always count on you.
Of course. I will always be there for you.
Phew, it's been a long day. I flop down onto my bed and look at the mail off my bedside table. Pile of papers is on the verge of becoming unmanageable. There's also a small pile of samples of all kinds on my dresser. The groundskeeper must have brought them in so they don't block the hall outside. I don't want to waste the food, but there's no way I can possibly eat all of it. I should give some of it to the boys. Okay, one thing at a time. One day at a time. Aurora, dress, jewelry, desserts. I grab the nearest paper I can reach on the table and look over at it. It's a sketch of a traditional marriage band set. A necklace for the male and a headpiece for the female. Awfully presumptuous of them to send this particular one, isn't it? I can feel my eyes getting heavy. I'll tackle the dress first thing tomorrow, but for now, I can't really think about this anymore. Another dream of light. Aurora. Someone's calling my name, but I can't quite make out their face. And the necklace from the ad was just looking at me. All I can see is it shines so brightly, it blinds me. Whoever he is, he must be married. The necklace dims through to enough to reveal the face of the elemental wearing
Lux!
it. Oh, shocker.
I can't wait anymore.
Oh. He runs to me. He takes my hand in his. He presses his forehead against mine. The traditional stance of an elemental man about to propose marriage.
Would you make me the happiest man in the world and become my wife?
Oh, goddess, what do? I don't know if I want this. And she wakes up in the middle of the night. I wake up in a cold sweat. As if I don't have enough pressure from the entire village on marriage. Now I have to deal with it in my sleep too. Now my brain is beside me. Has betrayed me, sorry. 10 days. Another morning, another decision. Do I take the faster way through the village square and risk the crowd, or I take a longer way around and risk being late? Let's go through the village. I'm filled with confidence. The village square is the shortest way, and I can handle the crowd. I got this. As I enter the... Oh, look at all the merchants that I've seen in my life, spirits bringing into action and wave all sorts of flyers, food stuff, fabric in my face. My manner deserts me in face of such a...
Are all of you even from this village?
Absolutely not. I came all the way from Piro's to show you what a proper shoe should be.
He's dressed in glittery red shoe above the crowd, which emits an ugly, angry sound.
I'm starting to run out of ways to say this.
Goodness, what a spectacle.
I turn around and see Lux standing behind me.
Oh, Lux. Nice to see a friendly face in the middle of all this madness.
You look like you could use some help. I think I know a pretty direct way through them.
Let's do this.
Let's do this!
Lux grabs me by the wrist with both hands and raises me above his head as though it were nothing.
Excuse us.
Amazing. Wait, screw it. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a mini game! Oh my god! Run through the merchants and press X to avoid the... Oh.
Begging your pardon, miss.
I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, that's not what I was... Oh, she's been around!
Begging your pardon, miss.
I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know. They're throwing bouquets at me. Ah! Oh, that was... I don't really know what I was doing, but okay. That's pretty cute. Lux barrels straight through the crowd of massive merchants, panic, and parts to let him through. By the time we managed to recover, Lux and I have gotten clear of them. We're halfway to the schoolhouse before he puts me back down.
Wow, Lux. Maybe I should just have you start carrying me to school from now on.
If you never walk anymore, how are you going to burn off all those sweet rolls?
Truth.
I'll burn them off when I kick your ass for those smart comments.
Truth.
You'd have to catch me first.
Truth. Truth. We make it to class on time. Class passes by without any major incidents. Thank the goddess. It feels like I haven't had a normal day in so long.
Shall we head home?
Actually, there's something I need to do first today. I was going to head over to Sweet William's to get my coming-of-age ceremony dress.
And
I could really use your opinion.
Actually, if you don't mind, I think I might like to be surprised. I won't be much help anyway. I think you'll be beautiful no matter what you wear.
Aww.
Oh, well, thank you, Lex. That's really sweet of you to say.
I passed by this shop so many times on my way to class, but I never bothered going inside. I haven't had many fancy occasions until now. The sketches caught my eye earlier. Might as well support a local tailor, right? Interior of the shop is one of the gaudiest things I've ever seen in my life. Akash does quite well with trade, but the taste of the people here remain modest for the most part. Although the shop mannequins are dressed in style I've never seen, in all colors of the rainbow. Sorry, blinked there for a second. Spurs around the corner, landed down with bolts of shimmering
Just
fabric.
a moment, I'll be right there. Oh my goodness!
He starts violently upon seeing me. I don't know what. He starts violently upon seeing me. Bolts of fabric go flying in every direction.
Oh no! Let me help you with that.
He shakes his head empathetically and steps over a giant mess of textiles in front of him.
Absolutely not! You are my guest! Please, please, have a seat.
He shoves a mannequin aside and produces a massive, fluffy cushion. He pats it and...
Thank you.
Whatever. I sink down into the cushion. It's like sitting on a cupcake.
I never want to stand up again.
Sweet William busies himself gathering up fabric from the floor. I feel a bit awkward just watching him clean up, but I don't want to offend him.
Whew, thank you for waiting. Now then, what brings you in, my dear? Did you get my sketches?
I did, actually. Your designs really stood out from the rest of the advertisements I got.
Oh, I knew it! You are clearly a woman of class and refinement. Let me go get my sketches.
He dashes into the back room again, giggling to himself.
How's that for garbage masquerading as a dress, Narcissus? Oh, he's going to be absolutely furious.
There's got to be a juicy story there, but I probably shouldn't ask. Sweet William returns with 3 sketches clenched in his hand. He spreads them out before
What do you think? If you don't like these, I can have 10 more drawn up in just a few moments' time.
Ooh, I like the black one.
Oh, they're all so beautiful. What do you think, Sweet William? Which one do you recommend?
A designer must love all his creations equally. But if we're being honest, I really love this one for you.
Oh, wow. This one is really quite daring.
All eyes will be on you. You might as well really give them a show.
Well...
I really like the black one, personally. I'm not into the white one too much. I mean, I guess the daring one is... For some reason, it reminds me of the Hunger Games. I don't know why. Isn't there a dress that she wears that's kind of flashy like that? You know what? Let's be a little sexy. Let's go daring.
Why not? This is my moment, and I'm going to seize it.
Get it, girl. Sweet William claps his hand in delight.
Oh, I knew you and I would get along. I won't let you down, my dear. Just wait. I'll just take your measurements and get started immediately. Come back to me in a few days' time.
Could you do me a favor and let the rest of the tailors know I've made my selection? It'll really help me if I don't have to dodge them on my way to school every morning.
The look on William's face is almost scary. Pure, maliciously.
That shouldn't be a problem. Now, let's just get those measurements.
Oh my god, a little picture. I lay on my bed, staring up at the ceiling. I find myself doing a lot of thinking in here lately. I'm glad I got my dress out of the way, but I still have a lot of planning to do. But more than that, I have a pretty major decision I need to make. And it's going to change my entire identity. I've been a bit overwhelmed with everything happening, so I haven't given it any real thought, but it has to change right now. I'm really feeling Light, because that's what I love taking care of others, and light magic is the best part to that. I want to protect and heal my people. Now that I've dealt with a really pressing issue, I guess it's time to admit to myself that my feelings for Lux have changed. I mean, he's my best friend, I adore him, but lately I can't stop thinking about how I wish I could do something more. I don't want to ruin our friendship, but if I don't try to explore this, I could miss out on something incredible. Maybe I'll just talk to him about it? Be brave! As I have the last few nights, I drift to sleep thinking of Lux. Ooh, 9 days. Did we not get a juicy dream today? No juicy dream? Okay. I sit up in my bed and rub the sleep from my eyes as I go through my morning routine. There are more stuff on her desk. Holy crap. I am overwhelmed by the feeling of dread. I don't understand. We don't have any exams today. Am I getting sick? I have too much to do today. I'm just going to try my best to ignore it. As I leave my room, I notice the room is eerily quiet. The door to Ignatius' room is wide open. He doesn't seem to be inside. It's actually quite early. He's normally still asleep by now. This feels off. Is this another dream? This has to be another dream. Once I make my way to the village square, I know something is wrong. Lately, it seems the entire village is up and about with morning prepared for coming of age ceremony. But today, all is quiet. There are none of the usual crowds, merchants, vendors, jostling and shouting for my attention, and even the normal group of early risers don't seem to be around. I feel a chill down my spine. Did something happen? As I look around the square, I see a window. Sweet Williams, his ears open, he leans out the window and shouts at me.
What are you doing outside?
What's going...
The humans have attacked the village! Run back to your room and lock the door! Don't stay here a moment longer!
But where are my classmates?
They're helping the elders protect the village! Please, child, don't tarry here!
He slams the window shut again. I feel like he should have said, come in here, be safe, I'll protect you. I feel a stab of anger, then guilt. No one asked me to defend the village because I'm a female. They left me sleeping in my bed like a child. I know they did it out of concern. As much as I don't like this, they went out of their way to make sure it was safe in my room. If I try to join the battle now, I might end up distracting them, and that would be even worse. I'm not going to do this every time, but I'll let them have it this time. They beat a reluctant retreat to my room. That's why his door is wide open. I run all the way through the deserted village and back to the student quarters. I slam my door shut and lock it before taking a few steps back and crouching into a fighting stance. I shouldn't be scared. I've been trained in combat and magic by some of the best instructors in the land, but there are humans. They don't have any motivation to pull their punches with me. They kill me as easily as they would an animal. I shudder. This must be what I was sensing earlier. 10 minutes go by, 20 minutes, I start to feel foolish. What exactly was I expecting to happen? Surely the boys can handle anything some humans can throw at them. Lux is the strongest man in our village. I know he can handle himself in a fight. Just as I'm starting to relax, I hear clinking sounds coming from the door. It couldn't be the boys. They would announce themselves. Ooh, I brace myself for an attack. What it feels like an eternity. The lock pops. The door swings open. 3 humans dressed in dark robes enter my room. What? One of the male wears a necklace adorned with a massive glowing jewel. A man wearing a necklace steps forward, extends his hand to me.
You can come quietly with us now, or we can do this the hard way. Your choice.
I'll take the hard way.
Punctuate my stance with a fireball with a fireball to the face, but somehow nothing happens. I try again, but no fireball. Oh no! The humans laugh, a harsh, chilling sound. The other two humans rush me. I manage to hold them off for a few minutes, but my magic's failure has thrown me, and I can't quite manage to recover. I break one's arm and give the other a good elbow in the face before they knock me out. What the fuck? A dungeon. I awaken in a damp stone cell. Ugh, my head is so dark. I try to create a little bit of light, but no luck. And my magic's still not working great. Once my eyes adjust, I can make out a pile of straw, a bowl, and a bucket. I don't even want to know what the bucket is meant for. Crawl over to the bowl and squint at it in the darkness. Looks like some kind of bread. Useless to escape. I make my way to the bars and have a look around the room. The only light comes from the sputtering torch and the moonlit streaming in from a tiny window. Ooh. Do humans prefer the darkness, or it's just something they do to their prisoners? I can see a single guard standing to the left of my cage. Maybe I can threaten some answers.
Listen here, you!
The guard slams the butt of his spear into the bars of my cell, making a terrible sound.
Nothing to say to elemental filth! Get back!
Well then. Elemental filth? Clearly, I'm not getting anything out of this guy. I back away from the bars and slam my fists into the wall in frustration. Did I just feel that stone move? I chance and look over at the guard who appears to be staring at the wall ahead of him. I give the stone a light tap with my fist. I'm sure that this time it moved. I casually lean against the wall and begin tapping the stone with my hand hidden behind my back. It slowly worked, but it feels like my hope's coming back to me with every tap of my fist against the wall. Eventually, I feel the stone pop out the other end, and I'm able to push it out of the way with my hand. I almost feel giddy with relief. I need to look through, but I can't arouse suspension. Okay, calm down. Can't let on that anything unusual is happening here. I look around the cell, my eyes fell upon a sad pile of straw. I crawl over to the straw and gather it, put it in front of the hole to make it appear as if I was going to sleep. I lay my head down on a makeshift pillow and look through the hole. I clap my hands over my mouth and keep from making a sound. Oh no, Lux! Ah! Lux is in the cell next to me. He looks really awful. He's sustained several bruises and he seems to be either asleep or unconscious. Please just be asleep. I decided to chance on Lux. No response.
Did you say something?
Just whispering an elemental prayer, sir.
Well, keep it down in there!
He rattled the bars from my cell again. Lux is close enough that I could reach out and touch him. Reached my hand through the hole, gently stroked his hair. My poor Lux, you never deserved any of this. Oh. Lux makes a sound almost like a sigh, but does not come to. A long stretch of time passes before he awakens. He sits up, starts looking around wildly. He must have gone down in the middle of a fight.
Quiet!
I reach my hand through the hole and wave it desperately, hoping he'll see without making too much noise. He notices almost immediately, thank goodness, and lies down to peek through the hole. When he sees me, the relief on his face is immense. It makes me feel guilty. Put my fingers on my lips and he nods in understanding. I mime sleeping at him and he gives me a quick nod before gathering his own pile of straw and making as if to sleep. He taps his ear and points at me. When I press my ear to the hole, he cups his hand around his mouth and whispers to me.
Oh, Goddess. I thought something awful must have happened.
Well, I'm alright. But what about you? What have they done to you?
As soon as we were out of sight of the village, they hit you over the head. I couldn't let them hurt you.
Lux, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I should have protected you. What use was all that training we did over the years? You needed me, and I failed you.
Aww.
You can never fail me, Lux. You've been there for me since the day I met you. You're always taking care of me. I want to take care of you, too.
I promise you right now, we'll make it out of here.
Reaches his hand through the hole. Hold his hand or touch him. Isn't that the same thing? Take his hand, place it on my cheek. He seems surprised at first, but gently strokes my cheek with his thumb. I want so badly for him to hold me, even in this terrible place. The thought of being safe in his arms, fills me with a strange warmth. We lay like this for a few minutes, his hands on my face and my hand on his.
We'll probably be better off escaping in the early morning. Try to get some rest.
He takes my hand in his. The cell is uncomfortable, but his warmth helps put me at ease. We fall asleep, holding hands through the hole. Still half asleep, but something is tickling my face. I swap the air and mumble to myself.
Wake up!
5 more minutes, Papa.
Another tickle that makes me swap the air again. Suddenly, a piece of straw inserts itself directly up my nostril. I sit straight up and yank it out.
What the?
Sorry I had to wake you. We need to plan our escape before the guard wakes up.
Got any ideas?
I don't know. But whatever we decide to do, I hope it won't involve any violence.
I'll do my best, but it might be unavoidable here, Lux. Anyway, I have sort of an idea.
I'm listening.
If you can figure out some way to get him close enough to your cell, you should be able to overpower him fairly easily, even through the bars.
What do you mean?
If I tried anything, he'd probably just smash my fingers with the spear bed. But if you could get him in close to you, you could probably break his fingers or something. Or just trap him until he lets you out.
Oh, Goddess, please don't even say things like that. Just the thought is making me woozy. Besides, I'm twice his size. How am I going to get him to come anywhere near me?
Maybe we make you seem super pathetic. Get him to feel sorry for you. Let his guard down, if you will.
And just how do we do that?
Leave it to me. Just follow my lead. And try to keep the talking to a minimum. You're the worst liar I know. Just lean up against the bars with your back to the guard. I'm gonna say some things that might sound really harsh. But just remember, I love you, and it's all for show, okay?
Right.
Clear my throat and then began to speak as loudly as...
Honestly, Lux, your life is such a joke!
Sorry?
You heard me, loser! Really, it's pathetic! How do you sleep at night?
Nearly struggling. Jiggling on the guard shift outside. It sounds like he's waking
Keep
up.
it down in there!
Make me, human scum! We've got nothing left anyway. Might as well let off some steam by reminding this guy just how low he is.
The mouth on you. I should beat some humility into you.
Hang on, I thought they brought you two in here together. What's your deal?
That's just the problem, isn't it? This guy was supposed to protect me, and he just let us both get taken. On top of that, his entire family was robbed and murdered the day before because of his negligence. Just one huge failure after the other.
But why are you laying into this guy so hard? Ain't he suffered enough already?
As far as I'm concerned, he can't suffer enough. You should kill him now and get it over with.
She's right, you know.
Of course I am!
Will you shut your goddamn yap for just a minute?
He smashes the butt of his spear into the bars of my cell before walking over to Lux's side. I can't see him anymore.
Hey, man. Maybe it ain't my place to say it, but you don't have to take that shit from her.
Don't I? Just like she said. Pathetic. A loser. I couldn't protect the woman. I mean, the people I love.
My imagination already hearing his voice waver a bit. Is he crying?
And now we're here. Goddess only knows what will happen to us. And our village has lost its only female. Even if I could get out of here, what would be the point?
Hey, come on now. Don't talk like that. You gotta stay strong.
I can hear the guard's keys jiggling as he moves in closer to Lux's cells. That's it.
A soft-hearted man like you should never become a guard.
What do you mean?
I've never heard one sound so cold. It's honestly a bit scary.
Keys, or I break your fingers one by one.
Take it easy, please. Here. They're right here.
Drop your weapon and kick it away from you.
Okay.
Spear clatters into the ground and rolls past.
I'm going to unlock my cell now. And if you try anything, I will detach your hand from your wrist. Do you understand?
Yes.
I hear the sound of metal scraping the floor as Lux's cell swings open.
Please!
You're coming with me.
Okay, just please.
A moment later, Lux comes into view, dragging the guard by his arm. He unlocks my cell and then shoves the man's bodily on the floor. I grab the spear and point it at the guard. Lux looks back and forth between him and I.
You got him?
Yeah, we're fine.
Lux shoulders back as he sinks down to the
Are you okay?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
What kind of psychopath freak are you?
Shut up. You don't get to talk to him like that.
Please don't talk to me right now. Oh, I don't want to think about the sound his little wrist made.
What is the deal with you two?
We played you, obviously. Now you're going to answer my questions. Because unlike him, I'm not allergic to violence.
Press the tip of the spear against his neck just hard enough to draw blood.
All right. Don't kill me, please.
Please don't kill him. Ugh.
I won't. If he answers my questions.
I will.
Tell me how they're suppressing our magic.
We found this necklace in some old elemental ruins a while back. Our shaman figured out at some point it can be used to interfere with elemental magic. We don't really know much else about it, though.
Where can we find this necklace now?
The shaman never seems to take it off, so probably somewhere in the temple.
And just where is this temple?
It's on a hill at the north end of the village. It's pretty obvious.
You're going to have to do better than that.
Poke him lightly with the spear just enough for Rivers to yell from him.
Sorry, please. It's a huge blue building. You can't miss it. Columns and a great flame that never goes out. You'll know it when you see it.
Thanks. You've been super helpful.
What happens now?
You'll have to ask someone else.
Bring the spear butt down on his head, knocking him out.
Poor guy. I wish we didn't have to do that to him. He really was too soft-hearted for this job.
Save your pity for us. We're the ones who need it right now. Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah. I'm all right now. Thanks for taking care of things.
Anytime. The hardest part is still to come. Are you ready?
As ready as I can be. Let's head out.
Slowly creaks the door open, then peek around the corner, no sign of anyone. I nod to Lux and we head out into the hallway together. the shutters, but shakes his head.
I don't like the look of that wall. Let's see if we can find another way down.
Okay. There's probably stairs around here somewhere.
Sure enough, just around the corner, there's a set of stairs. Lex and I descend them quietly as we can. It's amazing someone his size can be that quiet. Lex and I sneak downstairs and emerge from the stairway into a hallway. There's a heavy wooden door at the far end and a room with a door slightly ajar. As I start towards it, Lex grabs my hand.
Hey, where are you going?
I was just going to take a peek inside. See if there's anybody in there or not.
You don't know who or what could be in there. Let me have a look.
You're a mountain of muscle and blonde hair. I'm way less noticeable than you.
Well...
Just hold on to my hand, and if I see something dangerous, I'll yell and you can yank me back. How about that?
I suppose.
I sneak over to the door and pry it open ever so slowly. It appears to be a guard barracks. 3 guards snore quietly in cots. There are more beds, but only see 3 guards.
What do you see?
There's 3 guards sleeping in there.
We'd better get out of here before they wake up.
Yes. Or, well, bear with me here. It looks like there's supplies and stuff in there.
Go on.
They might have some extra uniforms in there. We could disguise you as one of them.
What? We can't go in there.
Come on, Lux. You look a lot like a human from a distance.
That might be true, but if anyone takes a close enough look, they'll know pretty quickly I'm not one of them.
We don't have a lot of other options. This way, at least, we'll buy a little time. I need you to trust me.
Of course I trust you. I'm just trying to keep you... us... safe.
Just stay close behind me in case one of them wakes up, okay?
I don't like this, but I'll be right behind you.
I take Lux's hand in mine and tiptoe as quietly as I can. One guard snores loudly and stirs in his sleep. Lux and I hold on. One guard smacks his lips and mutters something unintelligible before rolling over in my back sleep. Lux gestures to the door, but I shake my head. He looks concerned, but doesn't stop me. I approach a chest on the far side of the room and crack it open. Squeaks at first, but I manage to get it open without waking the guard.
Do any of these look like they'd fit you?
I don't think so.
Am I going to a taller sort of cabinet in the corner of the room? Only one lone uniform hangs in the back. Pull it out and pass it to Lux. He holds it to himself.
Just grab a spear and we'll be on our way.
Just as I was almost reached the door, one guard stood straight up and looked right at us. I grab Lux's arm, throw it around my waist, bury my face in his chest.
What are you...
Oh, you got a shy one tonight, huh? Davis, you dog. You're married and still bagging him, and I can't even get a woman to look my way.
Come on, baby. Let's get out of here. I want to see you in that cute uniform.
Just make sure you're back in a few hours. Too worked up to speak, huh? Well, night.
I think he's asleep again. Let's go before someone smarter than him wakes up.
Right.
Lex grabs a spear, leaning up against the door and carefully closes it behind him. Oh, against the door.
Here, just throw this on over your clothes.
What? Right here in the hallway?
Would you rather change in the bedroom with your new friend over there?
I suppose not.
Akash struggles with the uniform, but eventually he manages to put it on over his clothes. buttons on the jacket are just barely. Oh my gosh, the little picture for the trophy is really cute, but I don't think you can see it. It blurs it out, but it's pretty cute. Just barely hold on, giving the impression that Lux might burst out of his pose at any moment.
I guess even a tall human can't compare to your impressive physique, Lux.
I guess so. But I'm not even that big for a light elemental. At any rate, we should keep moving. That door is probably our best option.
Right. Just keep that spear at my back. We have to look convincing.
I promise I won't hurt you.
Don't worry about it, Lux. I trust you.
Lux and I make our way to the end of the hall, taking one last look behind us before I exit through the heavy wooden door. The exits disposits into a rank, garbage-filled alley. To our dismay, the stench doesn't seem to dissipate as we begin to make our way down the narrow corridor. What in the world is this awful smell?
Look out!
He pulls me towards a pair of human arms, and a few floors up tips a bucket of foul-smelling liquid out a window and into the alley in front of us.
Oh, goddess, these people are so disgusting!
Let's be thankful for that. It seems we're unlikely to run into anyone taking this route.
We've got to find that temple, but we can't see anything from here. We need to check that we're going in the right direction.
Let's get clear of these buildings first. We should be able to get a better look once we get out of this disgusting alley.
Over time, the buildings became a bit sparser, the surroundings a bit greener. Eventually, you make it to what appears to be a farmhouse. After some time, we finally arrive at a farm a good distance away from the building where we were held captive. We rest for a moment in a cornfield. The unharvested stalks provide us with natural hiding place.
How are you holding up?
I'm fine, thanks for asking. You?
I'll be a lot better once we get home.
Speaking of which, now would be a great time to get our bearings.
There's a barn just over there. I should be able to get high enough to properly survey the area.
Why don't I do it?
We risked our lives to get this disguise. We might as well make use of it. I should be just a few minutes. Please wait for me here.
All right, fine.
Lex turns and disappears into the cornfield, displacing a few stalks in his way. I have a heave of science and to rest my feet. I don't know what we are going to find in that temple, but I'm glad Lux is here with me. I poke a stalk of corn idly, and I hope he makes it back alright. A few more moments pass, and I hear what I hope is Lux rustling through the cornfield. It isn't. Shit. A young boy bursts clumsily through the corn and stops dead in his tracks when he sees me. We stare at each other, unsure what to do.
You're one of them. But you're a girl. What are you doing here?
Then Lex comes crushing back through the bushes, flattening stalks of corn as he goes. He inserts himself between us and the radishing. No.
Who goes there?
I'm starting to speak spouting as he insists he is a threat in front of him.
Oh, you're just a kid.
Just a kid? I'm 9! I'm basically an adult!
Right.
Voice squints suspiciously at Lux.
How come you're so pale? How come your clothes don't fit?
It's not nice to talk about other people's appearances, you know. People can't help how they look.
Oh, sorry.
I, don't need you to defend me, prisoner. But she's right. I was just born like this. I can't help looking the way I look.
No. But what are you doing on our farm? Why aren't you in the tower?
Me? Well, something came up. Important,
How come you're all sweaty?
Sweaty? Well, I was climbing...
Good grief, Lex can't even lie convincingly to a child.
I heard them tell him they needed me at the temple for interrogation. We're hiding here because nobody else in the village knows about it, and we're supposed to keep it that way. If you don't mind, I'd rather just go get this whole interrogation thing over with, so...
Boy frowns at me and leads him towards Lex.
Boy, she's kind of a grumpy prisoner, isn't she?
Being a prisoner is rough stuff. I'd probably be a little grumpy too.
A big guy like you would never be a prisoner. I bet you'd punch their heads right off if anyone tried to mess with you.
That's right.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. I should probably get this grumpy prisoner on her way.
Okay. Too bad you have to go. Nothing fun ever happens around here.
Sorry, buddy. I have a job to do, and so do you.
Well, see you later.
Hang on a minute. I heard them saying if anyone finds out about this, he'll lose his job. Right, guard?
Oh, right. That's enough out of you, prisoner.
You sure talk a lot for a prisoner.
If you don't mind, could you keep this between us?
Okay. I promise I won't tell.
Super promise?
We can pinky swear.
Pinky swear?
Anyone who breaks a pinky swear dies a horrible death. Needles in your eye and stuff. Come on, grab my pinky with your pinky.
The boy holds his little finger out to Lex. Lex kneels down in front of him and attempts to loop his finger around the boy's, but at different sides is too great. Eventually, the boy shrugs and hooks as much of his own finger as he can around Lex's.
Okay, it's done.
Thanks.
Don't let her be mean to you. You're the boss.
I sure won't. Take care.
Lex takes my arm and leads me away into a mass of corn, waving one last time at the human boy.
I am going to be so mean to you.
He's just a child. He doesn't know any better. Don't let what he said get to you.
Did you figure out where we need to be?
Yes, it's on a hill over in that direction. We should be able to get to it without too much trouble if we cut through the farmland here.
All right then, lead the way.
This way.
We sneak through the expanse of farmland and orchards. After some time, we arrive at a temple without any further trouble. Think I'm gonna stop right here. Stop right here. I guess it auto saves? Because there's not a way to like... Ah, there it is. Save. Eight days till the coming of age ceremony. That's back. See what options say. Tech, audio.
Yes, it's on a hill over in that direction. We should be able to get to it without too much trouble if we cut through the farmland here.
That's how you go back. Okay. Now I know. Do main menu. Yes. save. Let's do extras. Gallery. Should be able to tell how many CDs each one has. Caspian. Ignatius. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 12, 13, 14? Each looks like. There's the dresses. Okay, that's it for now. 2.5 hours. Plenty enough to start a game. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying that it has a lot of like adult humor. Not they're, I mean, I guess they're all 20, so they are adults. It makes it easier for someone like me who is in their 30s to enjoy a game like this, because there's so many games that are like this that are like, oh, they're 15, they're 16, and I'm like, can't relate. Like, I was that age, but it's half my life ago. So I really do enjoy this game, and hopefully we'll be streaming again in the future, so if you like it, let me know. Are you going to play this game? So far I'm really enjoying it. It's not a normal Otome game that I normally would be drawn to, but the fact that it's voiced, it's an American company that did everything, really is drawn to me, because that is very abnormal for Otome games in the Western world, especially that it's on a console. I think they were going to do a Vita version, but because of how the Vita is, like, Sony has cut them dry, so yeah. But till next time, bye!